Whelp, apparently I am the SI cover jinx. What is going on, YouTube? Northeast Ohio here for a little Ja Morant update video, because when you make a video about a player and talk about how hot the market is for him and try to find his undervalued cards, then about 16 hours later, he goes out and twists his ankle. So here we sit. So we don't know a ton yet. All we know is that he is in a walking boot and x-rays were negative. I am recording this at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we'll post this immediately as soon as it is done processing. So this is probably going to go up around midnight Eastern. So at this point in time, all we know is no x-rays, or x-rays were negative, and he is going for an MRI tomorrow. Best case scenario, it's a bad sprain. He's out 3 to 4 weeks. Worst case scenario, MRI finds ligament damage and he's out longer. So, in the immediate, what does this mean? As of right now, there were a bunch of, and the reason I waited to make this video is because I was curious to see where these ended up. There was a handful of auctions, almost about 10, that all just ended within the last 5 minutes. And you can see we have them up on the screen here. All these went for around $700. So essentially the new comp as of right now for Ja PSA 10 base prisms is $700. Previous, it was $800. So he's basically down a flat 100 per card on base prisms. So do the math, a little bit more than 10%. Little over 10% down. So you can apply that across the board, basically a 10% discount across the board. Personally, as someone that owns a lot of Ja, I do not own any base prisms and PSA 10s. I have an SGC 9.5. I have a stack of raw, and I have a few sitting at PSA. I have tons of optic and some mosaic. I am not selling a single Ja, and I will be looking to buy. Now, the tricky part is what happens when Woj tweets tomorrow. We're either in a limited buying opportunity right now because Woj could tweet tomorrow that, hey, it's not that bad. He's out 2 to 3 weeks, and he'll be back by mid to late January or whatever. In that case, I think his prices dip a little bit more, probably down to, let's call it 650-ish, strictly talking base prism PSA 10, maybe even all the way down to 600. This market's extremely overreactionary. If it is more serious than that, if it is, let's say, season ending for some reason, or he's out months, maybe there's a chance he could come back in March or April or something like that. I'm going to guess. I will say if he's out a majority of the season, that his prices get down to the 400s for a PSA 10 base prism. I could be wrong on that. We're kind of in unprecedented territory here, and this is going to be a very interesting case study for the NBA market and how the market's going to handle an injury to basically one of the top 4 players in the card market. Probably top 6. You got LeBron, you got Giannis, you got Luka, Trey, Ja, and Zion. And then with like Tatum sprinkled in there and a few other guys. But one of the main fastest movers in the market and one of the fastest guys to come out of the gate. Some people will be panic selling because they were looking to quick flip him. Regardless, I am into Ja for the long haul, like beyond this season. So I am unfazed by this personally. But you may be. Everyone's situation is different. That being said, if you can afford not to sell Ja right now, you should probably not be selling Ja right now. Stick him in a drawer and forget about him for a few months. Or wait to see what happens tomorrow. Once again, by the time you're watching this video tomorrow, this video may be outdated. So I was hesitant to even make it, but I wanted to get out there with at least something. So assuming this is relatively minor, regardless of what happens here, whenever we get more clarity on Tuesday, there is going to be a buying opportunity on Ja. It just depends on how low he's going to get. And a lot of that's going to be dictated by the news tomorrow. If you want to get a little frisky, buy before the Woj tweet comes out. If you think, if there's rumors floating that it's not going to be that bad, and he'll be back sooner rather than later, I personally don't think that's the case. I'm thinking he's out a month. Best case scenario, he's out 3 to 4 weeks, maybe 4 to 6 weeks. And worst case scenario is he's basically done for the year. The downside is even if he's only out for a month, they're not making the playoffs now. Maybe they could sneak into the play-in tournament. And I think they were a play-in team to begin with in the West. I think this pretty much ends their chances at making the play-in game. Sorry, my Discord is going crazy this evening with the Ja Morant stuff. That's the only downside is now that he is not, I don't think he's going to get playoff run no matter what. So that'll take off some of the hype level that you would see towards the end of the regular season if they were making a playoff run or even a play-in run, with the way that the NBA playoffs work this season. So long story short, if you do not need the money, you should not be selling Ja. If you are sitting on money and you were looking to dump into something, there's worse things that you could buy. I don't know that I'm necessarily in at 700 on PSA 10 base prisms. I think I would wait. To me, that's not that big of a discount. I want to see if they get under $600 personally. And I may look to make moves on other stuff, like Revolution and some more optic colors that I wouldn't mind picking up that I had my eyes on. I had just purchased that purple and I had just purchased the Revolution base, which are both on their way to me now. And if you guys just bought Ja, don't be a freaking idiot and return it on eBay or through PayPal. It is what it is. Shit happens. You bite the bullet, you take it, and you move on to the next thing. Don't be that asshole that opens the eBay return because your kid accidentally clicked the button. Oh no, sorry. I don't know how this happened. I don't want to see your eBay username on a Facebook page. And if you are the type of person that wants to do shit like that, the unsubscribe button's right below. That's the stupidest thing ever. You committed to buy it at a certain price on that day, and you're only returning it because the value changed. I mean, if you get the card and there's a crack or something in it, or it's not as described, 100% get it. Open the return. If you're returning because the value changed, you're an asshole. So we'll see where this settles out. I'm sure there will be an update video to this sometime tomorrow. But as of right now, I am shifting into, can I find some deals on Ja? I think I am personally, this is just what I'm doing. I already have a ton of Ja. So I don't need to go crazy right now. I think I may wait for the Woj tweet to see what we're looking at. If I didn't have any Ja and I was looking to get in at maybe a deal and I wanted to snag it before the tweet came out, I get it. I don't have a problem with you making a play on it. Personally, I'm going to wait to see what this injury actually is and how long he's going to be out for. Because if he's out for the season, that's where the real buying opportunity comes. Because now you're going to have to wait almost a full year to realize profits on Ja. You know, let's say he's out for the season. We're in basically, let's call it January 1st, 2021. You know, the next NBA season starts at Halloween, most likely, or let's call it November 1st. Who knows? Everything's going to be weird. And And, you know, prices will spike right before the season starts on the lead up, just like they do every year. So you're looking at least, you know, 10 to 11 months that you'd have to put $500 into a job-based prism and then sit on it. Not everybody can do that. Plus, who knows what the card market looks like 9 months from now, 10 months from now, 11 months from now. So let's hope it's not season ending. Let's hope he's out 4 to 6 weeks. It's a bad sprain. And then we, you know, we go from there and see what happens. But so, yeah, I'm going to play the waiting game. I'll see what happens with the injury. If he's out longer than 4 to 6 weeks, then I think there's more of a buying opportunity. And I personally will be looking to go after Optic Color, maybe some Select, maybe some more Revolution. I don't know that I'll go for any more Prism. I have a ton of Prism base already, and I have a ton of Optic base already. A lot of it's not graded, but that's whatever to me. I would rather work around the edges on the Optic Color and the more lower pop count stuff when it comes to Ja. So we will see how this shakes out. I will most likely probably be making another video about Ja sometime later tomorrow or maybe for Wednesday morning. We will see depending on when the news drops. And then I'll keep a close eye on prices. So expect a part 2 to the, actually, I guess part 3. Part 1 was the video I dropped this morning. Part 2 is this one, and I would expect a part 3 to come once we kind of see where the prices level off. And once again, I think the most interesting thing here is this is now the litmus test for what happens when one of these guys gets hurt, even if it's just for a month. You know, is it a 10% dip? Is it a 20% dip? Is it a 30% dip? Because then once we have this information on Ja, let's say the same thing happens to Zion in a month. He rolls an ankle, whatever, tweaks a knee, and he's out for 4 to 6 weeks. Now we have a good idea of where the bottom might be. So if we know, hey, Ja dropped 30%, he was out 4 to 6 weeks, can we expect Zion to drop 30% or Luka to drop 30% or Tatum to drop 30% if one of them misses a month? And it gives you a lot better idea of when to pounce on that floor. Now you could buy in. Maybe you buy in when it drops 25% on the next guy that gets hurt or whatever it ends up being. So that's where this is really going to be interesting because it's going to give us a data point that we can reference to say, hey, when this happened to that star player and he was out a month or two, his prices dropped by X percentage point. So to me, that is the most interesting thing, along with some potential buying opportunities here with the Ja market. So that's all I have for you guys today. I'm telling you right now, my next video is probably going to be Trae Young. So we'll see if I SI cover jinx him. I don't know. Peace.